Good morning, everybody. It is Monday, the 20th of April, 2020. It is day 25, I believe, of the South African national lockdown. 25 days, that means we are fast approaching a full month of being in lockdown. How are you coping with it? Do you find that it is becoming the new normal? Are you adjusting to this new normal? Have you started to give any thought to what it might be like to begin resuming life as it was before and braving traffic, spending a full day in the office, not having the option to take tea breaks, for example, and walk around your house or your garden or see your kids? Have you started to give some thought to what that might be like? We have to start to rethink now, as there's still a lot of uncertainty, of course, in the next couple of weeks and months ahead, and we don't know what life is going to be like, but we know it won't be like it was before. But it seems like we might be getting to the stage where we can start thinking about re-picking up certain aspects of our life in the next few weeks and months. This is the next video in the Region Business School lockdown video series. We spoke a little bit about nutrition and the effects of that on our well-being on Friday. Today we are going to shift the focus to exercise, which is the other side of that very important coin when it comes to wellness. So I think what's important to acknowledge again is that I'm not an expert on exercise. I'm not a physical trainer in any way. This is not my area specifically, but what I am going to bring to it, I hope, is a bit of my own counseling experience and psychological background. And then I've also looked through a lot of the cutting edge science on this and try to bring that in as well. And there's a lot of really interesting things there. And I'm sure you could continue researching this yourself as well if this is something that you are interested in. So as we go on, I think it's important to kind of cover the basics, and this is what we all know, is that exercise is good for your physical well-being. This is, I don't think, going to be a surprise to anybody to hear this. It strengthens your heart, it increases your blood circulation, it lowers your blood pressure, generally it just makes you stronger, and it also lowers the risk of ill health and chronic disease, including things like diabetes, heart disease, the risks of stroke. It has been said that lack of exercise is as dangerous as being a full-time smoker. So that's something to think about as well. Of course, the links between exercise and mental health are very well established as well, both anecdotally and through decades of research. So a big part of this is the euphoric feeling that we feel. This is a result of the feel-good neurotransmitter endorphins. And endorphins are named for, it's shortened from endogenous morphine. So endogenous morphine is shortened to endorphin. And endogenous just means it's created internally, it's created in our body. And of course, morphine is one of the strongest painkillers that we have developed as a species. So if you think about that, what endorphins are suggesting is that it is an incredibly powerful natural painkiller. And that, of course, has effects when we're exercising to not feel as much pain so we can respond to danger. That's the evolutionary impetus for it. But, of course, with that painkilling comes feelings of euphoria and the so-called natural high that exercise gives us. So this is just a short-term benefit that we can feel, and it's very helpful in that regard. But regular exercise has a number of medium and longer-term effects as well. So, sticking to the short or medium term, it's very good at problem solving, because what exercise does is it gives us this feeling of having a clearer mind. So we're not as kind of problem focused. It gives us more perspective. We can think in a more positive way. We're not as cognitively inflexible. We have more flexibility with the way that we think. So it also contributes to a sense of accomplishment, a sense of satisfaction. It reinforces self-esteem as well, and for these reasons, exercise is a very helpful way of preventing and treating mental disorders such as anxiety and depression. Exercise has been shown to have very meaningful effects on the actual physical structure of your brain. So it actually enlarges certain areas of your brain. It helps with the transmission of neurotransmitters and the uptake of a lot of different transmitters. It improves delivery of oxygen, improves delivery of nutrients to your brain as well. One of the areas that it has an effect on is the hippocampus, and the hippocampus is well known for being tasked with dealing with things like emotional regulation. And emotional regulation is a key skill in developing emotional wellness. So that's a very tangible side effect of exercise neurologically. And because of all these reasons, of course, there's a growing call for mental health practitioners to incorporate exercise in their treatment plans. And randomized clinical trials have shown that exercise can be as effective as antidepressant medication in treating patients with major depressive disorder. It's also been shown to treat anxiety very effectively. Obviously, anxiety and depression often go hand in hand, but also just in terms of treating anxiety, it's been shown to have significant effectiveness. If you think about anxiety, often what that is it's just a hijacking of your body's danger response, so the flight or fight reaction. The body gears up to respond to danger. And a lot of these physical symptoms are very similar to exercise. So by exercising, part of it is it's hypothesized that you're normalizing these symptoms, and that allows you to have different thoughts about it and not be as overwhelmed by them. If you think about it, when you exercise, you have the same beating heart, the sweaty reaction, that dry mouth as well, slowing of the digestive system. These are the type of things that you would experience in the anxiety symptoms as well. So this energy is also released through exercise, which can be really helpful as well, and that's why it's a very good stress management tool too. So these are the basic neurological reasons for why exercise is so effective for your well-being. Hopefully this has inspired you to think a little bit about the way you're exercising, if you are having enough exercise in your day-to-day life. If you can be exercising 3 times a week, that's good. Anything more than that is even better, of course, but everyone's busy, and if you can just fit in 3 days, that's a really good start. There's a lot of really practical home workouts on platforms like YouTube, for example, where you don't need any equipment at all. They don't take up much of your day, anything from 5 minutes to an hour, depending on what you're looking for. There's even a very popular 1-minute workout. This is one of the high-intensity interval training, or HIIT as they call them. This has become increasingly popular over the last 10 years or so. HIIT is, or the high-intensity interval training, is about intensified bursts of exercise, followed by short breaks. So you do 40 seconds of intense exercise, get your heart rate really high, and then 20-second break. And this has been shown to be really effective, and it's very popular as a result because of its the efficiency that it has in building strength and building fitness. So that's good news for people who don't want to spend a lot of time working out or don't have a lot of time to work out. The effectiveness of these shorter, more intense exercise regimes has been shown to actually be better than longer, more or less intense regimes, and they burn more calories, the high intensity shorter workouts. So that's quite a good approach to take. Obviously, if you're burning more calories, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to lose weight. Weight loss is as much, if not more, about restricting the amount of calories that you intake as opposed to burning them through exercise. And that comes down to a little bit of what we spoke last time about nutrition and being mindful of what we're eating. So this is just a kind of overview, bird's eye view of the idea that exercise can really be an important aspect of managing your mental health and managing your emotional wellness. And again, in terms of thinking about positive psychology, it's not just about taking away the symptoms of any type of mental ill health, but it's also about flourishing and thriving and being as getting as much as we can from the day and from our lives, generally speaking. Exercise is a really important part of that. It helps us stay physically well, and that's a big part of mental wellness as well as our physical health. It helps us manage stress, it helps us problem solve, it helps us feel better about ourselves, and it actually has physical consequences for our brains that can further facilitate wellness. Next session coming up will be on Wednesday, and that'll be speaking a little bit more about stress management and specifically some strategies there. Thank you very much for watching this. My name is James Sturdy. I'm with the Regent Business School Counseling Services, and look forward to catching up with you guys in the next session. Enjoy the rest of your week.